Today, I'm not really going to be talking about movies and franchises as such. I'm going to be talking about toxic fandoms and toxic fans, as they call themselves. With the rise of social media, toxic fandoms have grown exponentially. People really need to stop what they're doing and just have a think about the things they're saying. These people claim to be fans when in actual fact all they are is trolls. Andrew Dunnan from Ginger Media, who started all this, he recently done a video on his channel about trolls, and it got me thinking about these toxic fans and the things that they do and say about all these movies that they claim to be fans of. We love this franchise, but we hate you. We love this franchise, but we hate this movie. It's ridiculous. It's hate for the sake of hate. There's no other reason or rhyme behind what they're doing and saying. These people, it's like they're getting paid to hate on things. Recently, we've had Madam Web, and it got slated by the critics, it got slated by the fandom, and it's thrown a spanner in the works to the Sony Spider-Verse. And I've watched it. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Will I do a video about why I enjoyed it? And is it really that bad? Like with Morbius, was it that bad? No. Did it deserve the hate that it got? Definitely not. I know that even the people that were in the movie said that it was marred because of studio interference, script changes here and there, things getting put in that shouldn't have get put in, things getting taken out that shouldn't have been put in the first place. And this is just because of studio interference. Again, I'm not wanting to go into it too much, but studios need to back off when a movie's getting made. The fans were hating on these movies for the sake of hating on it. It wasn't bad, it wasn't a terrible movie. If you look at it and actually watch it constructively, you can see where they were wanting to go. But people decided that they were going to hate it for the sake of hating it. That seems to be the way it was. Another franchise that gets hate for the sake of hate is Star Wars. There's all these different shows and movies now in the Star Wars franchise. Countless games, there's the animated shows, and over time, people realise that they're not that bad. When the original trilogy was released, it was praised. Then Return of the Jedi came out, and people are like, it's okay. But it got the most hatred from the fans. Even back then, there was toxic fans. Was it as prevalent? Probably not, because we didn't have social media. It was basically just word of mouth and the critics that you could read about in the papers and stuff. So it wasn't until the prequel trilogy came out, and that's when people started to absolutely lose their shit about these movies, and they were saying all sorts of stuff about these things. And then, after a while, we had the sequel trilogy. Now, when the sequel trilogy came out, people looked back at the prequel trilogy and thought, they're not that bad. But in between them, we've had the Clone Wars animated show, with the games here and there. These things were all held in high regard. Some of the games weren't as good as some of the other ones, but the stories fitted in perfectly with the original and the prequels. And then we got the sequel trilogies. It's been a while since the first one. People were hating on it straight away, and nowadays it's like, it's fine. It fits, it adds to the story, overall arching story of the Jedi. The second one done a lot better than the first one when it came out, but people are like, this is okay, but it stood the test of time. But The Last Jedi done significantly better than The Rise of the Skywalker, which was critically panned. People hated on it. But it's been 5 years. Is it the worst movie of the franchise? No, that's Solo. But it is the worst movie of the overall story. And it gets so much hate for the sake of hatred. I can understand if people don't like it. I have spoke to people about it and they have said the reasons they don't like it, and it's valid reasons. It's so much hate unnecessarily, spewing vitriol over nothing. It is a piece of entertainment there to entertain you. If you didn't enjoy it, that's fine. Not everything is for everybody. Does it affect your life? No. From Star Wars, I'll move on to Star Trek, which has a ton of toxic fans. There is one show that will get a lot of Star Trek fans in an uproar, and that is Star Trek Enterprise. People hated that show, loathed it, spewing bile about this show unnecessarily. Again, it's not a bad show. It was of its time, and there was some spectacular episodes in the later series, especially the last series. There was no bad episodes of that show. I've watched them and I enjoyed them. I've watched all the episodes. Is it the weakest of the shows? Probably. But was it bad? No. It didn't deserve the things that were getting said about it. People were saying that it ruined the franchise. It's even referenced in Futurama with George Takei in an Enterprise and Scott Bakula in another Enterprise, and he says, "Way to ruin the franchise, Bakula," because that's what a lot of people were saying. He didn't. The franchise is still going. We're still getting new shows, but people were hating on it for no good reason. From there, I will move on to DC versus Marvel fans. Now, I don't even know where to start with this because the amount of trolls on both sides, Marvel and DC, there's not one set of toxic fans that are worse than the other. Any toxic fan is bad. They're not a fan, they're a troll. It is what they are. No matter if they say, "Oh, I like this but I didn't like that," well, that's fine. But the way people say things that, "Oh, I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, I didn't like the Justice League," that's fine. I say that. I didn't like what Joss Whedon done. I didn't like the way he edited it, the way he cut it, the way he framed it. It wasn't the way that it should have been. But the way the fans reacted when they knew that Zack Snyder wasn't going to get to do his other movies, to continue his plan for the DC universe under Warner Brothers. And we all know what I think about Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers are the biggest trolls because of what they do. They make movies and they don't release them. I'm not just talking about Batgirl. There's the Wile E. Coyote movie more recently, and that's finished, and they've scrapped it. Again, it's for tax reasons. There's no other reason for them not to release the films. But the way that the Zack Snyder fans are treating James Gunn right now is ridiculous. He hasn't even made any movies, and they're acting like he killed Zack Snyder's Justice League movies. He didn't. That was Warner Brothers. That was David Zaslav. James Gunn and Peter Safran have come in to do a job, and there's people hating on everything he's putting out for the sake of it. They're trolling his Twitter accounts, his Instagram accounts, saying that this is going to be terrible, that's going to be terrible, and he answers a lot of these people saying, "How do you know if you've seen it?" Because they haven't. I think at the other end of the scale with Marvel, it's a bit different, but it's still trolls. It's still people hating on content for the sake of it. And the thing about Marvel is the way that they're hating it is the MCU, or so they're calling it. It's ridiculous because it's hating a female-led story, especially when it came to She-Hulk. I thought She-Hulk was a great show. It's set in the MCU. It has characters from the MCU in it. It is a side story in that universe. It was setting up a character for further content because there's certain characters they can't use. So they've done this. And people hated on it for silly wee things. Like her dancing in an end credit scene with Megan Thee Stallion. Now you see Deadpool dancing, people lost their shit over that. Oh, this is amazing, this is brilliant. What was the difference? She spoke to the camera, people are like, oh, that's Deadpool's thing. She-Hulk was doing it long before Deadpool. Look it up. Black Widow was the first one. People are like, oh, it's not really that good. That was a rush job because of COVID. Was it a bad movie? No. I thought Black Widow was one of the better movies to come out for a long time. Obviously we'd had Endgame. Where can you go from that? Nowhere. You can't really go any higher than that. But people compared everything to Endgame. Oh, this isn't as good as Endgame. Of course it's not. Different movie. People hated Captain Marvel because they didn't like Brie Larson. So what? She got the part. She plays Captain Marvel fantastically. And all the times that you've seen her, she's played the character fantastically. She knows the role. Miss Marvel, the show was not as successful as what they wanted it to be. It was still a success. But people hated it because not only was it a female driven show, it was a female Muslim driven show. And people hated that because, oh, it's religious. Oh, she's showing her religion. So what? People do that all the time. You don't see people going, oh, Captain America, God-fearing. Comes out in the comics all the time. A God-fearing Christian. People don't care about that. Until you come out with a different religion. Oh, can't I have that? That's woke. This whole thing about everything being woke. So what? What does that do to you? How does that affect your life? How does a character being Muslim and a superhero, how does that affect your life? If that affects your life, if a female driven superhero movie like the Marvels affects your life, if She-Hulk dancing and twerking with Megan Thee Stallion affects your life, there's something seriously wrong. If the X-Men being woke now affects you, why didn't it affect you in the 90s? Why weren't people complaining about the X-Men being woke in the 90s? Because they were woke in the 60s. That's when X-Men were woke. And if people start coming to me and saying, oh, you're woke, I don't care. It's not going to affect my life in any way, shape or form. Is there things out there that I don't like? Yes. Will I watch them? No. Will it affect me if I have to go and watch it? No. I won't enjoy it, but that's it. I don't like the Twilight movies. I don't like the Twilight books. If somebody asks me to review them on this as a franchise, will I do it? Yes. I've watched things that I didn't enjoy to review them on this channel. Did it affect me? No. I just didn't enjoy it. And I will tell you why I didn't enjoy it. I won't say that all the cast should kill themselves, like what I've seen people say about certain shows and movies. Currently, the Marvels is still getting flack. Madam Web is still getting flack. These people were paid to do a job. They've done the job. They've put the content out there. Hate for the sake of hate is ridiculous. There's no reason for trolls to exist. Don't give them any fire. If you see them on notice boards or Reddit or on Facebook and Instagram or X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it nowadays, don't pander to them. That's what they want. They want you to get into an argument with them, and then all they'll say is the same thing. No matter what you come at them with, they say the same thing. They don't have any other arguments. If people don't like it for certain reasons, that's fine. I don't care if somebody hates something because of their own reasons. There's things out there that I hate. I hate the movie Teeth. I will never watch it again because I thought it was terrible. Do I hate the actors for making it? No. Do I hate the writer for writing it? No. Do I hate the production company? Do I hate the directors? Do I hate anybody involved with it? No. I just hated the movie. And that's fine. I'm not going to go and tell people, do not watch that movie. It's horrible. It has a female in it. It has this in it. It has that in it. Don't watch it. It's terrible because I don't like it. Which is essentially what they're saying. I don't like it for a reason that isn't really relevant to hating something. I don't like the Marvels because it has women and a Muslim and a black woman. I've seen actually people on a message board saying that, and people were arguing with them. So you hate women? No, I don't hate women. I hate women starring in movies. So you hate every single movie out there. I know this video has been a bit of a rant, but it's just, it gets my goat sometimes, just having to see these things, and the fact that these people are given a platform to do it. I came out and made a video about the Barbie movie, saying I enjoyed the Barbie movie. I did. It was a good movie. I went in not expecting anything. I thought this is just going to be a silly wee comedy thing about a toy coming to life, coming from toy world to the real world. That's what I was expecting. I was not expecting the whole existential crisis of what happened in the movie, but that's what we got, and it was a fantastic movie. People hated it. Still, one of the most successful movies of 2023. Did that affect your life, there being a Barbie movie? No. But there's still people out there hating on it because it's woke. It's a feminist movie. It's not. Watch it. You'll see. It's not a feminist movie. It's hate for the sake of hate. And it needs to stop. These people need to look at their lives and say, what the hell am I doing? Is this making my life better? For hating these things for the sake of hate? Hate kills you. Internally, these people must hate themselves to be spewing the utter crap they spew about these things. I'll leave you with this bit of advice. Don't let them win. Because if they win, then the people have lost. And we can't let the trolls win. They've ruined too many things for us, and it needs to stop. So on that note, I will love yous and leave yous. If yous enjoyed my video, like and subscribe. If yous didn't like it, subscribe anyway, it helps me. And if you're a troll, come at me. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me how much you hate me. Tell me how much you hate all these things that I have enjoyed. It's going to help me in the long run, because the more you comment, the more income I'll get. Tell me I'm woke. I don't care. I am woke. See ya.